Hello boys and girls, it's Smudge here. We're back in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, going to be continuing our world tour. So we're here in Vagar in the Faroe Islands. We're going to be flying our TBM 930 to Reykjavik in Iceland. So it's pretty windy here. I think there's a couple of storm cells looking at the weather map ahead of us. We might be landing into some rain as well, so it could be an interesting flight. Going to be doing our transition at about 20,000 feet. It's mostly over water, so there's not much to see other than cloud. So we'll jump in the plane and yeah, we'll get this underway and get on our way to Iceland. So we'll get this thing started up. I'll just kind of talk through what I'm doing while I'm doing it. So let's get warmed up. So the first thing we'll do, turn on the nav lights just to show that the ground crew that there's electrical power and stuff going on. Put the crash bar up, battery to on. Starts bringing everything to life. The screens all switch on, start doing our lineup. Turn the generator on. Turn our fuel is up in auto, or ignition's up in auto. Turn our auxiliary boost pumps up into auto, and then put the fuel selector into auto. Come down here, okay this. So we've got a flight plan. We do have a departure route out of here, which avoids a lot of the islands where we take off and then we kind of fly between the islands here, kind of following the river out. Then we've got a turn back to the west, and then we make our way out to Iceland, kind of following that route. Should take, I think, a couple of hours. Shouldn't take much more than that. So right, let's contact the ATC and tell them that we'll get our clearances, and then we'll start up.
Reykjavik Center, Daher, November 171 Mike Sierra IFR to Reykjavik, ready to copy.
Daher, November 171 Mike Sierra is cleared to Reykjavik Airport as filed. Climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Departure frequency is 119.7 squawk 7643. Clearance point 30 minutes from now.
So we've got 30 minutes to get in the air. 7643 is our thing. Squawk code.
Sierra cleared to Reykjavik Airport as filed. Climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Departure is 119.7 squawk 7643. Clearance void 30 minutes from now.
Daher 1 Mike Sierra, read back correct.
Alrighty, so let's get this thing started up then, shall we? So the switches up there are all set. So we'll put our ignition to on. In fact, that's bad. Fuel into cut off, otherwise it won't start up. For some reason it keeps kicking out of that, don't know why. So our N1 is climbing, and then we move that into idle. That opens up the fuel tanks, allows fuel to start flowing, and then the engine kind of starts kicking and coming to life. And then when it's stabilized in low idle, moved into high idle, then that starts providing kind of generator power to the aircraft rather than off the battery. So this is our warning caution panels here, which tells us things that we need to do, like switches and things that we need to switch on. So I just kind of keep an eye on that, make sure that everything else is fine. Checking temperatures and pressures. Just double checking here, we do have a full load of fuel. Microsoft Flight Sim has a thing where you can select a full load of fuel, but then when you load into the game, it defaults you back to 50% for some reason, so it's always good to check that. So we'll turn our AP trims on. I think that's everything set along the top bar along here. We'll turn our strobes and taxi lights. Well, taxi light on now, and then we'll start taxiing out. Inertial separator on while we're taxiing on the ground. We'll turn on our pitot and stall heats. We might need icing as we're taking off. We'll keep an eye on our external, well, outside temperatures +9, ISO -6, so if that gets down below 0, then we'll turn on the icing. I think that's everything else set here. It will turn on our nav mode, because we'll need that pretty quick. Yeah, we'll set our climb rates and everything as we get airborne there as well. Might set FLC already. None of we can preset these, but they won't kick in until we turn on the autopilot master mode anyway. So let's contact the ground crew and request a push back to the right. Yeah. Well, no, it's our taxi.
Victor Golf, traffic dog, November 171 Mike Sierra is taxiing to runway 12.
For some reason we can't contact the ground crew. Might need to manually program in a ground crew frequency, so we can get that off this. We'll go nearest airport's probably easier, and then it should come up at the top, and then we can get our frequencies for ground. Airport info, frequencies. Okay, what are we on now? 12485, which is Reykjavik, isn't it? So if we go to our COM, we'll program our COM 2. That's COM 1, COM 2. Hello. Let's try 1, 2, 200, and then click that. See if that works. COM 2 not these. Nope. Okay, what was the other one? Was 124850. Right, okay. Some reason can't talk to ground here, unless I'm missing something. Oi mate, gives a pushback. There's a good lad. Right, okay, this could be interesting. We'll just have to go full right boot, swing around, try not to clip this guy in the head. Right, okay. Bugger it, let's go. So full right boot, bit of left brake. Oh yes, we've got our parking brake set off, bleeds to on. Let's apply some power and go. Sorry mate, you're going to get a haircut here. Okay, just make sure there's no else around us. Yeah, we're safe. So we'll taxi out to the runway. Come on. Why are you not that was a bit naughty. I'm full turn, but the game's kind of stuttering, and then for some reason it's not accepting the input and not turning us, which really sucks. Joys of computer gaming. So we're gonna come out here and then turn to our right.
Echo Kilo Victor Golf, traffic daughter, November 171 Mike Sierra, taking off runway 12 straight out departure.
It's a really lovely island. Somewhere I'd love to visit one day if I had the money spare, but fortunately I'm not rich. Alright, we'll make our turnaround here. That's a very full windsock. Set our flaps to take off. Do one last swing around the aircraft. So we've got heaters on, this shall separate, we'll turn off. Bleeds are on, lights are set, autopilot trim switch is on. As soon as we take off, we'll go to autopilot hold, and then that should hold us as we're climbing up to 9,000 feet. So we've already announced that we're taking off, so we should be okay. Here we go. Should take off quite quickly with this headwind. Revving slightly, I'll just pull the power back there. So gears up, flaps up, and then we'll go autopilot on.
Reykjavik Center Docker, November 171 Mike Sierra, is passing 2,000 feet, climbing 9,000 feet.
Dover, November 171 Mike Sierra, Reykjavik Center altimeter 29.23. Continue to VG 682 as planned.
2923, okay.
Mike Sierra, keep speed not above 170 knots.
Okay.
Keep speed not above 170 knots, Docker, 1 Mike Sierra.
2923, wasn't it? Okay. So I've been told we're not allowed to go faster than 170, so I'm just cutting off the power a little bit. We are climbing up quite nicely here, although we're not following our... I know why we're not following our path out, because I'm a fucking idiot and I didn't set our course to GPS. Always forgetting something, but hey, this is a learning experience. There we go, so the aircraft should turn us now. We're still climbing. Yeah, we need to set our active nav source to the GPS, so we'll follow the GPS line. We're only a little bit off course, but hey, nobody's watching. This is kind of self-controlled airspace, so we're probably outside of range of Reykjavik radar. Let's keep this one between ourselves. Really, we should have followed this kind of line out here. Yeah, we're doing okay though. We're safe-ish. So we'll now re-intercept this line, so it'll then take us back on course, which is cool. Autopilots are fun. Like I said, I'm not a qualified pilot myself. I'm still very much learning this. You know, kind of learning as I'm going. I've been, you know, watching a few kind of tutorials and stuff like this, but it's fun doing it and learning as you're doing and learning by your mistakes. At least you can learn from your mistakes in a flight sim rather than learning from your mistakes by flying in real life and killing yourself. Okay, so we're just climbing up nicely now. Yeah, I'm saying bye-bye to the Faroe Islands. Some very weird texturing going on over there, but looking at pictures of this place in real life, really, really, really pretty island. So we do have some building cloud ahead. Hopefully we'll get above it at 20,000, but I'm sure we can always request a little bit more altitude if we need to. There we go to so we'll go heading up. See if this will show us any weather ahead. Yeah, so there is a bit of a storm cell ahead. Like I said, I think it's raining in Reykjavik at the moment, looking at weather radar. So it might be an interesting landing. We'll just speed up our ascent here because it's going quite slowly. Still keeping it below 170. In fact, we'll put this onto throttle control climb. Got tons of fuel to get there, no issues there. We can don't need to kind of do any kind of conserving for the next leg from Reykjavik to St. John's. That one can be a little more touch and go depending on the wind, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Have a quick look around the... I wish I knew how to get rid of these icons on the external view, because I just don't like them there. External view should be for external view, not for looking at weird instruments and stuff. I wonder if there's a way in here to turn them off. I don't know. Looks like an aircraft coming to land into the Faroe Islands. It's looking very good back there.
Descend and maintain 6,700 feet. Expect vectors. Visual runway 12 approach Faroe line for flight tree.
I mean, you can't tell me that doesn't look cool. Let's zoom out a little bit, see if we can see this guy. See if he shows up on live traffic. Nope. I wonder something. Can I? Aha! I can. Look at that.
Tower 1 Lake Sierra climb and maintain flight level 180.
180, yes sir.
Climb and maintain flight level 180, Tower 1 Mike Sierra.
Yeah, quite happy with that. So I've managed to get the ATC box on a different window, so I can click to it on my second monitor. Yay, winning! Although actually looking at that, that's now okay. Doing that had buggered up the stream, so it had focused on that window and not the main window. So we'll cancel that, and I'll have a look at doing that again some other time when it's not going to bugger everything up. Bollocks. I just looked at my stream window there and I was like, hang on a sec. Just have to cope with ATC being up in the top left, and I'll have a look at that later and see if I can set up multiple stream capture windows. Of course, because they've assigned us 18,000, that's going to cause problems with the bloody barometric altitude as well, isn't it? You're too low, you're too high, you're too low, you're too high. So I might set... what's that? 17.8, see if that appeases them. Getting proper rocky up here. Of course, we're above 10,000 now, so we can turn our landing lights off. What is the wind doing up here? 20 knots, gusting to 30 knot tailwind. That's pretty good. That's going to push us along quite nicely. Let's see if we can get... put our wind up on our... It's nice just having it straight in front of you there, so you don't have to keep referencing up there, but our ETA will be 15:30 according to that. So that's yeah, a couple of hours. I'm sure that'll come down as we straighten out and fly right. I'll probably shave about half an hour off that once we pick up speed. Reduce my rate of climb slightly here. That is really rocking. If I was flying in this aircraft right now, there would be chocks everywhere. I mean, it literally looked like the plane had been painted in pizza. This looks stomach churning right now. So that's the wind speed there or there. So as you can see, it's not settling. It's kind of whipping itself between 20 and 30 knots, which is battering the aircraft all over the place. But the best news for us is that it's a tailwind, so that's pushing us through the air a little bit faster. So our indicated airspeed at the moment is, well, as you can see there, bouncing around 167, 168. We've got a ground speed currently of 240 knots. So that's pretty cool. That is a huge rain cell. I guess you guys can hopefully see the mouse here, but that's cloud and that's rain. So all of that you see there that's a load of rain, and that's what you can see over here. If we zoom out a little bit more, so green is kind of light, well, normalish type rain. Orange is kind of heavy rain, and then when it's red, that's torrential hail, really strong bad rain and wind, and all kind of problems like that. So we'll keep an eye on that, because that may be coming towards us. Looking at the wind direction, so that is pushing this cell that way, which is into our course. So hopefully we can get ahead of it. 200. Yes, sir.
Maintain flight level 200, 1 Mike Sierra.
Having a hard time hitting the buttons here. So now we'll turn our barometric altitude to 2992. Which is standard pressure above 18,000. 2992. Because if we don't do that, he'll get angry at us and tell us that we're not at our assigned altitude. So what I'm doing there is just slaving our heading bug to our course bug, so if we get a GPS problem or if something else happens with the navigation system, we can just go to heading hold rather than nav hold, and it'll keep us heading in this general direction. So wind speed's picking up as we're getting higher here as well, so that's moving up to kind of gusting 35 knots. It's starting to get pretty rough. So the maximum ceiling of this aircraft is 30,000 feet. It can't go above, well, it can climb above 30,000 feet, it has the performance to do it, but you lose cabin pressurization efficiency at 30,000 feet and you need to go into oxygen. So you start getting kind of warnings all over the warning instrument when you go above 30,000. So it's best, 20,000 is a good kind of cruising altitude for the TBM 930, but we are getting proper kicked about up here. But the good news is we're doing 200 knots indicated and we're doing nearly 300 knots ground speed, so we are absolutely roaring along here. And that's brought our ETA down, like I said, by about half an hour. We've saved about half an hour on our ETA, so we've got an ETA there of 1457. When we get in front of this cell, we may even pick up some stronger winds, or the wind direction may change and come into our face. We'll soon see. Well, that was weird. I'm gonna request another 10,000.
Reykjavik Center, Docker 1 Mike Sierra.
See if I can get above some of this turbulence.
Docker 1 Mike Sierra climb and maintain flight level 300.
Climb and maintain flight level 300, Docker 1 Mike Sierra.
Yeah, so we're gonna go up to our maximum altitude. And see if we can steady this out a bit, because we are getting kicked in the nuts. And the good thing is with flying high like that as well, you save lots of fuel, because the aircraft doesn't need so much fuel in order to match kind of like the fuel burn ratio. So there's less air means less fuel. If you have too much fuel going in and not enough air, then you flood the engine and it doesn't work. So flying high where there's less air, it takes less fuel, less air resistance. That's why you see all of the airliners flying around the world at, you know, kind of 35, 40,000 feet. So pushing the engine up here just so I can maintain our speed in the climb. Again, our gallons per hour, our fuel burn rate staying pretty consistent around kind of 60 gallons per hour. Just lower our rate of climb slightly here just to get a bit more speed. Feel sorry for anybody that might be doing this flight in real time and real life at the moment, especially if it's the same kind of wind and air conditions as this, because that's not going to be much fun. So as you can see, we're coming up against a storm cell and the wind direction's changed from behind to almost a crosswind from the left. And I think as we advance, this is probably going to turn a little bit more. Hopefully it won't turn into a headwind, because that's really going to start sucking. And our ground speed's dropped. I mean, our airspeed's come down a fair amount there, but yeah, 243 knots ground speed. So we're starting to get above the worst of the clouds here as well. Might turn on the icing here as well, because it's starting to look very cold outside. Not seeing any icing on the windscreen or wings or anything like that, but much rather be safe than sorry. In fact, yeah, there you see there's mild icing on the window there. I don't know if that shows up on the screen, but there were some cracks starting to form on the edges anyway. Lower rate of ascent slightly here. Looks like a nice day up here, apart from a huge amount of turbulence. And just remember, guys, when when you're feeling depressed on a cloudy day and it's all grey and rainy, it's always sunny above the clouds. Barely click the buttons, the aircraft's getting thrown around so much. Yep, so we're passing LaRue. leveling off now, and then we'll should pick up a little more speed. This should be us for at least the next hour. Yeah, that's quite cool. Mach 0.52, doing half the speed of sound. Ground speed of 390 knots. Indicated airspeed of 192 knots thereabouts. True airspeed of 310 knots thereabouts if it stabilizes at all. So that's pretty damn quick. Fuel burn up here is 54 gallons per hour, and I'm pretty much max throttle. As you can see, the throttle's nearly all the way forward there, and that's 55 gallons per hour. So we're going really, really quick, and we're being quite efficient as well. To do this kind of speed, or indicate the speed down near the ground, would probably be burning 70 to 80 gallons per hour. So. Doing pretty well. Last did this trip in February of February of this year, even not last year. February of this year, did this trip the first time in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, and I took off from Wick, and I was going to fly straight to Reykjavik because the aircraft potentially has the range to do that trip in one go. But I took off, I flew up to about 30,000 as I am now, and then I smacked straight into a 90 knot headwind, and there's just, like my ground speed was hovering around kind of 100 knots, 200 knots, that just wasn't going anywhere. And I was kind of looking at my fuel burn calculations, my ETA, range to go, remaining fuel, and when I first started, I was kind of like, I'm close, I can get it. It's a thin line, but you know, it's there. There's not much margin of error, but we can make it. And after about 15-20 minutes, you're looking at it, it's like I'm short. I'm getting shorter. And it's like as time's going on, you realise that I'm getting shorter and shorter and shorter of my destination. I'm not going to make it. So that's when I diverted into the Faroe Islands, and I was just amazed by. The first landing I did, I came in from the east, and the approach is really cool, kind of flying between like islands and, you know, kind of following the channel into the runway. And I thought that was really cool, and I'd like to fly back there again, and we have. Of course, this time we flew in from the west, and that was an even more interesting approach. I thought that was great on the last one. I was properly amazed by that, kind of hugging that hill, or well, yeah, I guess it's a hill, not so much a mountain. You know, and then turning on to line up with the runway at the last moment. That was really quite cool. I like that. the approach into Reykjavik. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I think I think that might be right, or close enough. But that's pretty nice approach. You come into Iceland from the south. You get to see a lot of the island off to your right. And then it's a nice simple kind of turn into the approach, and you fly over a couple of towns or villages as you're going into land, and it's really, really pretty, really amazing part of the world. So we're definitely above all of the clouds now, which is nice, but turbulence has calmed down a bit. We're still getting kicked about, but we're not getting the same sort of beating as what we were getting previously. Have a look externally. Again, if anybody watches this, leave me a comment, let me know how I can get rid of these instrument gauges and that when you're in external view. Cause they annoy me. When I'm in external view, I want to see prettiness and sunshines and clouds and stuff, instead of really annoying kind of instruments that I don't want to see. Let's do some googling. Right, okay, so it's in general options, camera, chase camera, instruments, heads up display to off. Okay, so I'll do that for the next one, definitely. I can't do it now, because there's also a bug in Microsoft Flight Sim that if you go into the options when you're flying, and then you come out of the options, it turns your engine off, which is pretty detrimental to flight. So, well, another one of those things. And I also didn't remember to turn off the tooltips. Although, let me know, leave me a comment, let me know if you want the tooltips on or off, so you can see the kinds of things I'm clicking on. Or if you think that should be turned off because they're annoying and they're just getting away. Anybody that watched the last episode will know what Neil's view on that subject was. Has to be said though that Microsoft Flight Sim does do weather particularly well. So losing the winds drop down now that we're moving away from that weather cell. So I've gone from gusting to 30 to pretty constant, kind of between 8 and 10 knots. Still a tailwind, which is nice. 330 knots ground speed, so we're still doing pretty damn well there. We've got some small weather cells ahead, but I think they're well below us. So we don't really need to worry about it. We do have a weather radar, so we can put that on, and then you can also do your up-down weather radar. So yes, that's 60 feet below 60 feet, 60,000 feet above 60,000 feet below. So you can see where the weather level is, which is just below us. You can see that scattered on the weather radar, or you can have it kind of put on your map. Just gonna get a drink. 2 seconds. Vagar. Nice bit of iron brew. This video is no way supported or sponsored by Iron Brew. Starting to see some patches and breaks in the clouds below us, which is starting to see the sea again. Game stutter there, but thankfully it recovered. Always get a little bit nervous when it does that the game's just going to go boing and crash on you, and you're going to be like, I have to start all over again. So just looking at the map there is certainly more weather ahead. Should hopefully still be well above it. Hey Adam, how you doing there? How long to landing? So our ETA is about 3 o'clock into landing in Reykjavik, so we've got about another hour of flying to do. So yeah, we're about what, about halfway, I think? So yeah, a little bit of way to go. Fly along here. Speed's picked up, 333 knots ground speed. Yeah, tailwinds. Well, the wind has moved as we're past this cell from a crosswind to back to a tailwind. So yeah, we're steaming along quite nicely at the moment. So indicated airspeed there is nearly 200 knots, 30,000 feet. The turbulence has stopped, which is nice. We were getting absolutely knocked about as we passed this weather cell back here. Lots of heavy winds and kind of gusting up to 30 knots, and it was kicking us about all over the place. But got a little weather cell ahead of us here, some heavy rain, but we should be well above that. I don't think we'll kick into that, although looking there is a little bit of cloud at our altitude, but hopefully we'll not get affected by that too much. We're just starting to see Iceland actually coming up over here, but that's about 100 miles away or so, which is way over there, so I don't think that we're going to see that yet. It would be nice to request a lower altitude so we can get a view of Iceland as we're coming over it, but that weather cell's probably going to kick our ass if we do. I think as we're coming past the east coast of Iceland, we'll probably get our orders to start descending for our landing in Reykjavik anyway. Still got absolutely buckets of fuel left, so no problems there at all. It's turned into quite a nice day. And how are you doing today, Adam? Awesome, that's good. Thanks for joining the stream. It's nice to know there's someone out there watching. I'm not talking to myself, honestly. If you told people that you did this for fun, you know, oh, you know, what do you do daily? What do you do every day? Well, I sit in front of a computer screen and I talk to myself. Sometimes people talk back, but they're not really there. They'd have you with a straitjacket in no time, wouldn't they? Maybe you need to be a little bit crazy to be successful as a YouTuber. So we're flying over that rain cell at the moment, so it looks as though we are absolutely well above it. There is some cloud at our level off in the distance, but I don't think that's going to become a factor. Building clouds off to our right there. See if we can request a descent by 10,000. Start getting a bit lower so we can see island as we get closer.
Reykjavik Center, Daughter 1 Mike Sierra. Request flight level 200.
Daughter 1 Mike Sierra, descend and maintain flight level 200.
Go back down to our
Descend and maintain
planned
flight
altitude.
level 200, Daughter 1 Mike Sierra.
A little bit too far. Let's go FLC mode on the autopilot, and then we'll throttle back, and then that'll automatically bring the nose down. So it'll try and maintain our speed, so it'll adjust our rate of descent to maintain speed, which is cool. So this way we'll be descending quite safely without overspeeding the aircraft and causing any sort of problems. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean there, Adam. So Adam there on the chat has just said, I mostly watch your DCS content, which is cool. Thank you very much for that. Big thumbs up. Microsoft Flight Sim looks amazing, but it's a bit too much waiting for my taste. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of... Yeah, I do know exactly what you mean. So it's a lot of scenery scrolling, so you just kind of sat there watching clouds go by, or watching the ground go by when you're doing flights like this, you know, like if you've got a planned destination to fly to, you know, sort of flying across the world as such. But like all flight sims, it's free form, it's open, you can do what you want in it. If you want to go and get a light plane like a Cessna and start doing barrel rolls over your house, you can do that as well. You know, I know it doesn't have the kaboom and bluey and all that type of stuff, you know, the death and destruction of DCS, which is a lot of fun, and you know, it's really interesting learning those aircraft systems and learning how to fly and fight in an aircraft. But the thing I love with Microsoft Flight Sim is just the procedural flying, learning how to fly an aircraft as it is flown in real world, you know, communicating with ATC, although I know it's a rudimentary kind of ATC, but it feels good. It sounds right to someone that doesn't do this day in, day out as a job, or, you know, I never kind of had the education or grades or money to kind of go into doing, you know, kind of real life flying. Well, I have done real life flying in the past. You know, I served 10 years in the military, and managed to do a couple of kind of flights in gliders and small aircraft through that, which I was really thankful for. But don't have that certificate and stamp to say, like, I can do it for reals. But this allows you to get a little bit close, and you know, I really enjoy that aspect of it. And also seeing, you know, as I said kind of earlier on in the video, seeing parts of the world virtually that I'll never really kind of get to see in real life. And I think Microsoft Flight Sim 2020's got closer than any flight sim in the past, or any kind of real game or system in the past, at recreating the real world to look pretty damn real. You know, so it's exciting. It's exciting seeing new places and you know, kind of pretending to be a pilot and flying around the world and doing this sort of stuff. But yeah, DCS is really cool as well because you get to blow stuff up, and who doesn't love blowing stuff up? Start seeing it visually over there. No, there's still far too much cloud there in order to start seeing anything over there, because that's about 50 miles away, maybe a little bit more. We'll start zooming in here. So yeah, it's just a touch off 50 miles. We're kind of over there to Iceland, but there is some thick cloud over here at the moment. That raises a question, in fact, because I know Iceland is renowned for having volcanic eruptions, and I know that there was huge kind of disruptions to air travel a few years ago after a volcano in Iceland decided to blow its lid. It makes me wonder how Microsoft Flight Sim would go about recreating that, or if they could possibly, you know, have like a huge kind of cloud over the area if there was some kind of volcanic eruption. That would be a thing to see. Yeah, that's almost 10 tenths cloud cover down there. That's pretty thick soup. But, still, we're coming down to 20,000 feet from kind of the top of our cruise there, which was about 30,000 feet. Well, not about, it was at 30,000 feet. We're going to start leveling off soon. So the wind has picked up quite a bit there as we've descended. So at 30,000 feet there, the wind was roughly about 8 knots, kind of gusting through 12. We've descended there and we're back into 40 knots of tailwind. Although our ground speed has come down a fair bit. We're now 295 knots ground speed, but that's because we're lower, so you know, more air resistance. There's traffic ahead of us. Scary plane just out there, about what's that, about 30 miles ahead. I don't think we're going to see him, but maybe look out for his lights. Ah, there he is, just under my mouse cursor. I don't know if you guys can see that on the stream, but yep, there he is, he's up there. We can see his little blinky strobe light. Haha, how cool! And he's coming straight towards us now. Just there under the cursor. Yeah, so he was coming right to left, now he's turned onto the sky path, but again he's about 10,000 feet above us, so plenty of clearance. Just see him up there under my cursor again. You can see his red flashing and green lights. Looks like something a bit heavier, maybe like 320 or... I can't quite make out what it is, but cool. Still not seeing much land down there.
Tower 1 Mike Sierra, contact Reykjavik Center on 125.5. Good day.
125.5, daughter 1 Mike Sierra. Reykjavik Center, daughter, November 171 Mike Sierra, flight level 200.
Daughter November 171 Mike Sierra, Reykjavik Center. Continue to India November Golf as planned.
Okie dokie. So I've checked in with Reykjavik Center Control, who controls most of the kind of airspace around, well, all of the airspace around Ireland, I guess. Iceland. Ireland's a bit further over to the east. That's funny, isn't it? white cloud. So there's all of these grey clouds and there's just one little white cloud kind of sticking out. Hello, white cloud. Let's go Excel, see if we can... some gaps in the cloud out there, but it's looking pretty heavy. You see some land mass out in front of us. In fact, look, hey, land, snow. See it just between the clouds over there. Yay! Snowy Iceland. Oh, looks like that aircraft is now circled back around to come in behind us. And there he is up there, coming back towards us. Must be another player. Let's see if I can request another descent by 10,000. Go down to 10,000 feet.
Reykjavik Center, daughter 1 Mike Sierra. Request 10,000 feet.
Daughter 1 Mike Sierra descend and maintain 10,000
Yay.
feet.
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet, daughter 1 Mike Sierra.
So we'll start our descent and see if we can maybe get below these clouds. We might not be so lucky because it looks like they're quite low, but at least we might get a better look at the ground as we're going over it. It should never give me a barometric altitude, which we're going to need going down below to 10,000 feet. 2923. We'll put them in 2923. We'll probably get a correction off them as we get down there. Certainly very snowy over there. track are spazzing out a little bit there. That looks very cool. I wonder what that is around there, because that's definitely not land, but there's like a difference in the water from there to there. I guess in fact, yeah, it could be worth feet dry at the moment. So yeah, that would be the coastline, wouldn't it? Ah, another aircraft just popped in behind us. Still got a fair way to go here. I mean, that's still 100 miles to the other side of Iceland. It's ice. Okay. So that's a sheet of ice meeting the sea coming down from I guess a glacier? That's quite cool. Do you see like a huge ice flow coming out all the way around there? That's really cool. Pretty big weather cell over there, kind of towards where we're going. Looks like one of those aircraft has turned around and decided to go away again. There's a load of ice going out to sea there as well. So, okay, slated for ILS approach runway 19. Let's get up some. Airfields around here. Ah, so does Birk. B-I-R-K. Okay. See if I can find Birk. I don't know where I can go. So ILS runway 19. Okay. Cool. There we are. Just programming the ILS frequencies in case we need those. Just in case there's a butt ton of cloud over the runway and we can't see it. That must look like farmers' fields. Must be really hard farming when it's constantly snowing. We've also got lots of company behind us as well. It's quite cool. It's like a sea of ice and snow. Can't help but feel that there's like guys flew for this for the first time, you know, when we're flying, you know, kind of early years between UK and America and stuff like that, that they look down there and think, if we went down here, we'd be pretty bollocksed. Guess you'd be slightly less bollocks than landing at sea though. 10,000 feet outside air temperature, -11. That's certainly freezy nuts. So when you think about it, most like household freezers get down to about -5. I think on like high settings they go down to about -5, and it's -11 out there at the moment. That's pretty damn cold. A 30-knot headwind steady as well, or 28 knots now. That's pretty nice. So we've got 3 aircraft ahead of us there. I can see one there just under my mouse pointer. Got one there just under my mouse pointer. See the third guy. So I guess he's going to be far off to the right. Is that him there? That's quite far off. I wonder if they show up on actual live tracking. Let's have a look. So if we go to your favourite plane finder or aircraft location. So there is indeed 3 aircraft ahead of me. There's a Qatar Airlines going to Chicago. That's this guy over here. There's a United 767. So the Qatar, that's a 777. Is that guy there? That guy there is a 767 going to Houston, and the guy on the left there is a SAS aircraft going to Boston, and then there's one aircraft behind me which is an Emirates 777 going to Houston as well. That's so cool. How many can't say that that's really cool? That I go on a plane finder app or like flight radar app, and the aircraft that are flying around me in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 at their assigned altitudes is a 777, 767, A321 and another 777. All of my little kind of radar mappy things, and I can see them. Look, there. Where's he gone? He was up there a minute ago. I guess he must be behind some of these clouds, but I've lost his lights. I guess they're getting a fair way ahead of me now, but we'll probably get overtaken by that Emirates aircraft soon anyway. But that's pretty cool, isn't it, though? I mean, yeah, that's, you know, that's cool. So we're currently over. I can't pronounce these places. I'm hopeless at pronouncing things. But we're approaching Skogar, Skogar. That'll be kind of over there slightly somewhere. Now we may have some more traffic coming towards us, which is a 757 taking off from going into Keflavik from Stockholm. We've got some traffic coming in there. Looks like he's on the approach. And there's also a 737 from Brussels landing at Keflavik. But I think they'll be up here on the map somewhere, much ahead of us. Excuse me. You have that Emirates aircraft behind us, that's at 36,000 feet. Let's see, what's his speed going currently? 497 knots at 36,000 feet, 777. I mean, you can't say that's really cool. Rain showers over there, just looks so nice. Look at that rain band, rain shower. Got another one just over there being kind of like lit up by the sun. Just grabbing a couple of screen snaps because I can. Is that Emirates plane still behind us? I thought he would have overtaken us a long time ago. So when we get to Nazbu, we'll hopefully start getting vectors in for landing. I think it'll probably take us, looking at how the aircraft are landing on flight radar, I think it'll push us out up here and then back around and in. Because we need to land into wind, and at the moment we've got a tailwind, so we can't land direct, so we will need to go out, circle around and come back in. So when we get our approach, we'll go into our program, go into our approach, and then we'll activate the approach that they give us. So we've got Burke, ILS 19 Yankee, so 19 will be, let's see, that runway, yeah, okay, so that'll be from that direction, so it might not be that one, it might be 13 that it gives us. We'll see what approach we'll get, and then we'll activate it, and then we can fly that approach once we go in. But that should come fairly shortly, I hope. So what, 50 miles away from Reykjavik now. ETA still 14:57, so we've lost no time. 14, yeah, so about 10 minutes till we're till we're starting our approach or landing, so that's not long to wait. So we're passing Nasbu now, making our turn towards Berk, or Reykjavik. So yeah, we'll hopefully get a call from the ATC soon, giving us some approach instructions. Shame we can't just call them and say, "I'm here. Tell me what to do." Quest. Short flight clears to selected destination.
Reykjavik Center Daughter, November 171 Mike Sierra, would like to change destination to Reykjavik.
Daughter November 171 Mike Sierra is cleared to Reykjavik Airport as filed. Squawk 7643.
That's weird.
Daughter November 171 Mike Sierra cleared to Reykjavik Airport as filed. Squawk 7643.
Daughter 1 Mike Sierra, read that correct. Radar contact 10,100 feet. Altimeter 29.31, continue to VG 680 turning and following heading 100 climb and maintain flight level 200.
VG 680 following heading 100. Climb and maintain flight level 2000.
Turning and following heading 100 climb and maintain flight level 200. Daughter 1 Mike Sierra.
Wait, 200 is 2.
Daughter 1 Mike Sierra, keep speed not above 170 knots.
Keep speed not above 170 knots. Daughter 1 Mike Sierra.
Daughter 1 Mike Sierra, keep speed not above 240 knots.
Keep speed not above 240 knots. Daughter 1 Mike Sierra.
God, that came thick and fast. Following heading 100.
Daughter 1 Mike Sierra, you are 35 miles east. Keep speed not above 220 knots. Expect localizer Zulu runway 13 approach via Tabit transition. Clear to Tabit.
So we've got localizer Zulu,
Keep
runway
speed not above
13.
220 knots. Expect localizer Zulu runway 13 approach via Tabit transition. Clear to Tabit. Daughter 1 Mike Sierra.
So now I've loaded in the Tabit approach. So we'll go back to nav. So yep, there we go. So rather than going around the right, it's putting us around the left and then circling back into landing. Cool! Haha! Flight level 200, so we need to descend, don't we? Well, I think 2000 is going to put us... Oh well, we're going down anyway. Like I said, this is all a learning experience for me. I'm kind of learning by doing.
Expedite your climb flight level 200.
It was... Okay, so they want me up at 20,000, not 2,000. Okay, flight level 20. I thought it was. I was there thinking 20,000, but I'm coming in for approach and they wanted me at 20,000. Are you mental? Well, we'll expedite our climb. We'll go... max throttle. Yeah, because 20 would be 2,000. 2 zeros are, that's 20,000. 20,000, yeah. Mind fart. I was wondering why she put me down to 2,000, but I mean 20,000 is a hell of a climb considering I'm only 50 miles, so I'm probably gonna have to do a hell of a descent to get back down to Tabid. But we'll do as told, because we're good little boys.
Delta 1 Mike Sierra, contact Reykjavik approach on 119.0. Good day.
Good day to you too, Mom.
Going to 119.0 1 Mike Sierra. Reykjavik approach daughter, November 171 Mike Sierra, is passing 9,900 feet, climbing flight level 200.
Delta November 171 Mike Sierra, Reykjavik, approach altimeter 29.3 to continue to Tabit as planned. Delta 1 Mike Sierra, descend and maintain 2,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet, daughter, 1 Mike Sierra.
Bitch.
Delta 1 Mike Sierra, descend and maintain 3,800 feet.
Descend and maintain 3,800 feet, daughter, 1 Mike Sierra.
Should have put those on earlier. Keep forgetting about that. Should really run the checklist, and Microsoft Flight Sim does give you checklists. Where are they? There are they. That's fuel checklist. Here we go. So you got all sorts of checklists. You got climb, cruise, before descent, approach. So it could bring up the approach checklist. Altimeter setting QNH is set. Fuel gauges got plenty of fuel. The ice system is on because it's bloody cold. Inertial separator. Landing lights on below 10,000 feet. On. There you go. Oh, sure. Landing gear down, flaps down. AP, your damper disconnect. Yep. So that's the next step. Yeah, so if ever you want to know how to fly the plane or what to do, checklists. Really should follow them religiously. You know, before you do everything, start up, shut down, take off, flying around. It tells you exactly what you need to do when you need to do it. But it's a game. And we're picking up the ILS approach, but that's for runway 19, and we're on a 13 approach. So let's see, can we get up? There is an ILS for 13. Cool, so I'll activate that to nav 1. Great, so now I've got the ILS programmed in. 109. No. Yep, sweet. That's Reykjavik down there, isn't it? Zoom, zoom, zoom. No, BIMS. Wonder what BIMS is. It's starting to rain. We've got a town down there. Hello, peoples. Just check lights are all on. Good. Yeah, so it is definitely raining over Reykjavik. So it looks like we've got a 90 knot headwind for landing. Oh, cool. Why is it always raining over the airports we want to land at? Of course, we'll soon be landing. ETA landing 15:05. Oh, stuttered there. Pooed myself. Don't crash. Don't crash. Please.
Delta 1 Mike Sierra, descend and maintain 2,400 feet. Keep speed not above 200 knots.
Descend and maintain 2,400 feet. Keep speed not above 200 knots. Delta 1 Mike Sierra.
Yep, so down to 2,400 feet. Don't go above 200 knots. So we're doing 190 at the moment. And on our descent, oh, I should do a left turn now. Yep, there we go. Huh. That's a new one to me.
Descend and maintain 1,700 feet to here 1 Mike Sierra.
So we're not going to get ATZ voices now, so something's gone a bit tits up there. So I'll just have to keep this open, unfortunately. Down to 1,700. And there's the runway. Slave the heading bug. So we're on the long finals. Hopefully we'll get clearance to land.
Here 1 Mike Sierra, you are 8 miles northwest of Reykjavik. Contact Reykjavik Tower on 118.0 when inbound. Tower on 118.0 here 1 Mike Sierra. Reykjavik Tower here November 171 Mike Sierra 7 miles northwest inbound localizer Zulu runway 13 approach. Here November 171 Mike Sierra Reykjavik Tower. Altimeter 29.32 wind 143 at 3. Cleared localizer Zulu runway 13 approach. Here 1 Mike Sierra wind 143 at 3. Cleared to land runway 13. Cleared to land runway 13 here 1 Mike Sierra.
Right now let's get the flaps and the wheels out. Glide slope. What am I doing wrong? Seeing if I could get the ILS to do the approach there, but can't figure out how to get it to activate the approach mode. I'll have to look into that. Good job, we got good visuals on the runway anyway. And so it's definitely picking up the localizer. High, got 4 green lights, we need 2 white, 2 red really, but slight crosswind, not much to worry about. There we go, so now we're on the glide slope. maybe I didn't set the active nav to it. No for next time. Slow. Don't be looking at the instruments when you're on final approach, Smudge, you bloody idiot.
Delhi 1 Mike Sierra, exit runway when able.
Oops. Get out of the way.
Delhi 1 Mike Sierra, contact ground on 121.7. 121.7 for Delhi 1 Mike Sierra. Reykjavik ground Delhi November 171 Mike Sierra, request taxi to parking. Delhi November 171 Mike Sierra, taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Echo Alpha. Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Echo Alpha Delhi 1 Mike Sierra.
Appears to be a car in front of me. And yeah, it's going to be a bit difficult getting into my parking spot there, pal. Okay. Which one of you trucks wants to get it? We'll just squidgy it through here and then do that and then that and then yay. Alrighty. Put a parking brake on. I know, I put the parking brake on. Okay, and then let's get this thing shut down. So we'll put this into low idle, flaps it up, and then shut off. This thing's going to start binging and bonging quite a lot. So we'll go lights off, taxi lights off. Should have put those into landing, but be okay. Ignition's off, fuel transfer switches off, autopilot's off. Bleeds off. And then all of the icing switches off. I think that's it, and then crash bar down, and then that's the end of this. So we'll see if it just brings up our post-flight analysis. Here we go. So day TBM 930, took off from Vagar, flew to Reykjavik. Time of flight 1 hour 42 minutes. So all good. Thank you very much for everybody that's been watching. Hope you guys all enjoyed this. I think this is going to be the only flight I'm going to do today, but I will certainly get another flight up soon, possibly even tomorrow afternoon, see what happens. So thank you very much, hope you all enjoyed this, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.